Yeah, good morning, students. I'm Puneet. I'm Puneet Sharma. We are here to understand and complete the course syllabus of 406B, that is the retailing and the digital marketing. So we'll start the session first of all by understanding the fundamentals of retailing. Now, retailing is a word came from the French. It's called the retailing. Retailing is nothing but breaking the bulk. So what happens in the business context is manufacturers manufacture some products, provide some goods and services. He offers to the wholesaler, then wholesaler distribute the products to hundreds and thousands and millions retailer who are the key point in the supply chain management, and from there a direct end user gets the product after adding all the taxes, the margins, the cuts, the profits, so that final cost products gets to the end user customers. So that's the retailing. Now there are certain aspects in the first chapter we should understand, and now we'll look on the few content topics what are there. So please allow me to have an overlook on this. So first 1.1 is retail definition, functions and the marketing retail equation. So we have understood what is retailing. The functions are like to provide the retail products and services to the end user, because a manufacturer directly cannot approach to the customer because customers are spread all over the globe. So it's very hard for a single manufacturer to reach each and every customer. So he needs some kind of support and some kind of team who are working for him against the margin of profit, and those people are the supplier, distributor, wholesalers and the retailers. So we are looking at the retailers. So this is the basic function of retailing, is to divide the bulk into the small quantities. So what retailer do, he buy a bulk products from a maybe manufacturer, direct manufacturer or the wholesaler, and then he distribute the small amount of quantities to the end users. It is like we can understand from the same perspective that, say example of Navjeevan Super Shop or D-Mart. So what they do, they buy thousands kilos or maybe the tons of sugars, and we buy 5 kg, 10 kg, 20 kg sugars. Now we cannot buy 10 kg sugar from the sugar mill, and sugar mill is it's very hard for them to supply 10 kg or 5 kg or even a 1 kg sugar to the end user because the needs are different. So that's why this retailer came in the picture. So retailer is nothing but a bridge between the manufacturer and the direct customers. So this is the functions of the retailing system. So now we'll look a small perspective towards the 1.2. It's retail in India, evolution, key sectors, factors affecting the growth, aspects of FDI, challenges faces by Indians, and Indian versus the global scenario. So the most important aspect here is the aspects of FDI. Now we have seen many companies like Walmart being entered into the Indian market, and they are supplying the products. They are the biggest marketer, biggest retailer chain in the worldwide. So this is the foreign direct investment player. It's called Walmart, and there are many factors, like even D-Mart has some 20% stake from the foreign investors. We see the like Flipkart, and even though they are online sellers, but somehow they are doing a role of a retailer. So that's the aspects, and this foreign investment brings a lot of opportunities to the Indian suppliers, the Indian manufacturers, so that they get the fund, they can mobilize, they can utilize these funds in the production, improving product quality, faster transportation services, maybe the affordable prices, good packaging. So this is how the system goes, and that's the beauty of FDI. The second is the evolution. Now the evolution, if we look into this aspect, India has like a very vast, you can say, the traditional history. In the past time, in the history, a farmer used to produce the grains, and he used to come into the market, and then he used to sell those his grains or the whatever the vegetables, things and fruits to the customers. But this is how somehow limited to the only one village, one taluka or one district place only. So what happens ki they come up with an idea. They appointed few retailers in the different nearby villages, so that people can come buy a bulk product from him and they can sell in their own districts and cities and the villages. So that was the evolution. You can say it was a pre-independence format were using by the Indians. After independence, Britishers noticed these things, and they have formatted these things. They channelized this system, and they created the whole concept and the whole narrative in a very different and large scale, and that's how it becomes the global perspective. So the 1.3, the most important aspect is the elements of retail strategy, retail institutions, ownership and the store, and the wheel of retailing. Now when we talk about this, we need to understand first thing. Now what is the wheel of retailing? So wheel is, as I told you, a wheel starts from the manufacturer, then it goes to the wholesaler, then it goes to the retailer, and then again it goes back to the customer. So this is how the product, you can say, wheel goes around. And so the same reverse aspects is also flowing when the money is coming from the customer to retailer, retailer to wholesaler, and wholesaler to the manufacturer. So this wheel is moving in the both directions, and that's how the economy is working. The most fundamental aspect here we need to see is the growth aspect. The growth is substantial, the growth is splendid in this region, and that's why the many players are coming, and Indian market is completely filled with the middle class buyers. So middle class family has certain characteristics. Mostly Indian customers are in the working employees. They get salary between 1 to the 10th of every month. So between, you can say, 5 to 15th, you can see the maximum rush on the kirana stores, the groceries, the supermarkets, the malls, the shops, because people are utilizing their money, their salaries to buy the groceries for the households, and that's the most important factor for the growth of the retail sector. We can also notice that India is about a nation filled with the festivals. So whenever it's like Eid or Diwali or Christmas is nearby, we see a lot of growth, huge growth in the retail market, because the needs are high. People are ready to spend money. People require more things from the retail market, and that's why the growth is, it's absolutely fluctuating. Somehow it's going very up, somehow it's going very down. It depends on the market conditions, the buying habits, and the situations affecting. Currently, at this moment, India is facing the lockdown because of the coronavirus, the COVID-19. So you can see a little bit drop in the retail sector, because people have buying a very limited amount of the groceries or the other related products. Maximum the retailers are locked down, they are shut down. But the important things, like we can say the daily need products like the groceries and everything, India is facing a huge losses, huge drop down in the retail sector, and that's why we can say the growth is substantially at a very low, all-time low, we can say. So that is the most important thing. And now we need to look at the perception and the categorization. Categorization is why we need, because if you go to DMart, you see a systematic categorization of the products. You won't see a havoc or chaos in the entire things. Even you go to a very small grocery shop, he has categorized the product, he has kept the product. So if you go and ask a particular product, he'll take very few seconds to reach that product, and he'll give it to you. This has happened because of the categorization, the proper segmentation. every product, the same can be seen in the medical shops also. The medical owner take the prescription, he read and he goes to this exact direct section, he take out the medicine and he give it to the customer. This is all happening because of a proper categorization and the segmentation of the products. The next most important aspect is the franchise. Now what is franchise system? We have seen like Big Bazaar. Big Bazaar is the idea of a single person. He started a single unit in a city. He got a very good response. Then he thought of coming with the more outlets in the different cities, different parts of India. So rather going himself, he allotted his franchise to the franchise owner, who have to pay some money, who has to work under the same logo is given by the owner, and that's how the retailing market starts. And we have seen DMart and Big Bazaar are the two successful players in the market who are holding a big number of market, and they are providing excellent retailing services so far. So this is also a very important aspect is the franchise. You can also categorize the lease department. There are some departments who provide on lease. For example, like in US departmental store, Coca-Cola has brought a certain amount of space where he keep his product, he offers some discounts and the buy one get one kind of things to the customers, and that whole premises is taken on the lease. So that is called the lease department. I mean, rather buying a complete entire new store, spending a lot of money, they just take out some amount of space in a very established department store, and that's they call the lease department. Same thing we have to look at we are talking about the existing retail business model in the 1.4. We have to see the advantages, that the biggest advantage of buying an existing business is taking the ownership of an already. So this is the point concerned with the franchise. Now what maximum US companies does in the history, in the specifically United States and Canada, they bought already established organized unit, and they have put their own identity brand logo, so that people can without being chaotic, they come to the regular store in a different brand name. So for example, suppose tomorrow if DMart decided to buy Navjeevan Super Shop, he'll give a very good offer that he cannot reject the offer, and he'll buy the entire stores, all the 5 stores of Jalgaon, and then DMart will he'll declare that all the Navjeevan shops will be now comes under DMart, and DMart is going to have like 6 outlets in the market, so you can buy any product from your nearest place. So that is the biggest advantage of this strategy, is to reduce the competition. Now see, where 2 players were fighting with each other in the same market, Navjeevan Super Shop and DMart, and both were offering the customer on a very healthy competition. But what happens when DMart is taking control over the Navjeevan Super Shop? Now there is only one single player, it's called the DMart. So DMart is getting all the customers, he can utilize it, he can create a monopoly in the market, and that is the big advantage for these big players. I mean, no doubt there are some disadvantages also, but we don't have to look into this matter because that's out of syllabus for us. The business models in retail, the independent retail, we have discussed the existing retail business model, the franchise and the network. So the first aspect we have to again look into this matter is the independent retail outlet. There are millions of independent retail market. I mean, in your area, every single corner you will find a small, maybe medium, or maybe a big or large retail store. Whether it is a very small kirana is selling 2-3 products, or maybe a super giant products who selling thousands of products, both can be considered as the independent, because this is a single entity ownership business who is doing the retailing business. So this is the first aspect of this. Now we are coming to the last point of the first chapter, is the store site selection. Now obviously this is this completely based on the common sense. Now if you want to sell your product, you need to first identify your target customer, you need to identify a proper location where they can come and reach the outlet very easily. You need to identify such location where it should be visible, that you don't have to put a lot of efforts and you have to spend a lot of money on the marketing. Now just imagine, now we all are from the Jalgaon. DMart is staying at a very on road basis. You can easily find out, you just can't ignore this store. It's a huge store, so it doesn't require where the store is. But now suppose I'm staying at Kolle Hills, and if I tell you ki Ganesh Emporium is a very affordable retail outlet in Jalgaon, so the first thing will come in your mind is where this Ganesh Emporium is. So Ganesh Emporium has to pay a lot of money on the marketing through the hoardings and banners and newspaper ads to tell and inform his target customers ki this is where the shop is located. So that's why location selection is very important. It's a very crucial factor, and it's very simple aspects. It's based in the complete common sense. If you want to sell more, your location should be very based in the locality, in the heart of the city. It should everyone can reach easily. You should have ample lot of parking. The visibility should be good. The air flow, the entire thing must be look like a customer should feel good factor when he enters into the store. So this is how we end with the first chapter. If you have any questions, you have my number. If you don't have my number, please note down. It's 8806936777. You please WhatsApp me whatever the questions, queries you have. I will try to sort it out through the WhatsApp messages or again a same video. Now I'll say a goodbye to you. Take care. Stay at home. Be safe. We'll see you with the second chapter. Thank you.